This is the Boston Celtics newsfeed on CLNS. Today is Monday, October 30th, 2017. This is Mike Walsh reporting for CLNS, the leading online provider of audiovisual coverage for the Boston Celtics. The Celtics will get their first taste of a predicted dominant Western Conference this evening with an early visit from Greg Popovich's San Antonio Spurs. Like Boston, the Spurs have started out the season grinding without some of their top talent, but are still managing to find success. San Antonio won 4 straight to open the season, despite Kawhi Leonard and Tony Parker beginning the year on the DL. Parker is still recovering from a quadricep injury, while Leonard is nearing a return after being famously knocked out of the Warriors series last spring. Joining them on the Spurs injury report are Joffrey Laverne, dealing with an ankle injury, and 40-year-old Manu Ginobili, who is a game-time decision simply due to rest after playing in all 6 prior games. The Celtics will instead contend with a renewed LaMarcus Aldridge, who has stepped up in a big way after 2 up-and-down seasons with the Spurs, to average nearly 26 points and 9 rebounds a game thus far. The Celtics have gotten Marcus Smart back, but the other Marcus remains unable to go. Former Piston Marcus Morris was assigned to the D-League Maine Red Claws for practice today, but recalled right after. On the injury report, his potential return date was pushed to November 1st. Morris was joined during Red Claws practice by Jabari Bird as Maine opens their season Friday in Portland against Delaware. Today's episode is sponsored by Greats, makers of the all-time greats, classic, stylish, and comfortable sneakers sold at a great price. Greats is Brooklyn's first sneaker company, and they have a wide selection of both men's and women's shoes, versatile styles suitable for any occasion. Check out some of those popular styles, like the all-leather Royale lace-ups over at Greats.com. We've got a special deal for our audience. Save 15% on your first order with our offer code Celtics Roundtable. Go to Greats.com, that's GREATS.com. And be sure to enter Celtics Roundtable to save 15% at checkout. Greats also believe so much in their shoes, and so do I personally. So guys, take advantage of their no-risk return and exchange policy, guaranteeing you get the right fit and a style you love. I have the all-leather Royale lace-ups. They fit great, they feel great, and they look great. And that is Greats.com. Use our code Celtics Roundtable and save 15%. The Spurs have lost back-to-back games to Eastern Conference surprise teams, the Orlando Magic and Indiana Pacers, but haven't lost in Boston specifically since 2011. The Magic sit at 4-2 alongside Boston, a half game out of first place, where another surprise, the Detroit Pistons, sit at 5-2. On the flip side of things, the defending conference champion Cleveland Cavaliers have dropped 3 straight and 4 of 5 to the Magic, Brooklyn Nets, New Orleans Pelicans, and New York Knicks. While head coach Ty Lue has called the losses unacceptable, LeBron James is shaking them off a bit, telling reporters after an embarrassing 19-point loss at home to the Knicks, quote, "What month is this for me? October? I'm not about to go crazy over it right now. It's too long of a season. I've been a part of this way too many times," end quote. The Celtics got some mainstream local ink this week as burgeoning young duo Jaylen Brown and Jayson Tatum appear on the cover story of the Improper Bostonian magazine. The story is more of a condensed interview with the two popping questions at each other back and forth. They appear to have a pretty tight relationship, and fans can get some insight into things like who their favorite mentors on the team are, what they did with their first paycheck, some of their favorites, Kobe versus T-Mac, and that short-lived 7-Eleven nickname. Elsewhere in the NBA, a couple other Eastern Conference threats took sizable hits this week. The Bucks have ruled Greg Monroe out for a minimum of 2 weeks with a calf injury, while the bizarre start to Markelle Fultz's career in Philadelphia continued, with the current number 1 overall pick being sidelined for at least 3 weeks, and at that point, his shoulder will be re-examined. The Celtics are hosting the San Antonio Spurs at 7:30 p.m. Eastern tonight. The game will broadcast nationally on NBA TV. Check back in with the newsfeed later on as I'll have your post-game recap, and keep your eyes glued to youtube.com/CLNS Media for our complete post-game coverage, including footage from inside the locker room and a new episode of the Garden Report. Until then, follow CLNS on Twitter at CLNS Media and subscribe to the Celtics newsfeed, both on iTunes and Stitcher, as well as the CLNS Media Network's mobile podcast app. This has been Mike Walsh for the Boston Celtics newsfeed.